All right, guys, so let's talk about session breaks, which is very important. The session breaks is going to allow you to understand when there's going to be more volatility or what's going to be best for you to trade depending on what pairs that you're trading. Before we get into that, let's get a little bit into the concept of what is Forex so that way you guys can fully understand. Now, Forex is a foreign exchange market. It is the over the counter market in which the foreign currency of the world are traded, meaning that all the currencies in the world are trading within the foreign exchange market. It is considered the largest and most liquid market in the world. Yes, it is the most largest and most liquid market in the world. It's bigger than stocks. It's bigger than investments. It's bigger than all these other things, which has an equivalent of transactions made in a daily base that sums up to $5.3 trillion. That's actually a lie. It's over $6.2 trillion now because it keeps on growing and growing. So with that being said, you guys can see how many transactions are based on a daily basis every single day. That sums up at over $6.2 trillion daily transactions. So let's get into a little bit of the session breaks. The session breaks, there's going to be four major session breaks, which is going to be the Sydney, the Tokyo, the London, and the New York session breaks. Now, with that being said, there's going to be people that are going to be trading Sydney. There's going to be people that are going to be trading Tokyo, London, New York. Now, why is it important for you to understand what are session breaks and when they go ahead and occur? The reason why it's important for you to understand when they occur is because this is going to allow you to understand when there's going to be volatility within the market. Now, you guys can see it already gives you right here the EDT, GMT, EST, GMT, for you guys to understand which one is going to be when it opens and when it closes, depending on your time frame. Okay, so with this being said, I personally like to trade New York session. Now, why do I like to trade New York session? I'm in the Pacific side. Okay, so I have PST. So for me, Pacific side, PST, okay, I have to be paying attention to EST, which is 8 a.m. If I want to be trading New York session, the open of New York session is going to be at 8 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. For me, 5 a.m. Okay, so I wake up early, I trade, and I'm done trading. Now, the end of that New York session ends at 5 p.m. Now, that doesn't mean I'm trading all day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm simply starting to trade at around 8 a.m., which is Eastern Standard Time. Now, you can choose what session break it is that you would like to trade, if it's going to be New York, if it's going to be London, Tokyo, Sydney. Now, for New York session, one thing that I noticed is New York session likes to create continuations of what London has done. Okay, if I was to be trading London, which is something that I used to trade in the past, I would be trading manipulations and expansions. What does that mean? I'd be looking for market to have a quick move and then fake people out for it to then go the other way. So I'd be looking for that fake out before it goes the other way, so that way I can get the most out of that London session. Tokyo and Sydney sessions are usually ranging market sessions because there's not much liquidity within the market and it just keeps running up and down. So a lot of people like to trade these consolidations, meaning that they like to buy and sell in certain areas that the market had created with consolidation. Okay, so these are session breaks. These are things for you to take in consideration. Understand which one's going to be the best suited for you. Are you going to be trading New York? Are you going to be trading London? Are you going to be trading Tokyo or Sydney session? This is going to be best suited to you based off what your time frame is and how much time you can put towards trading Forex. And also understand at what given time could you give that specific time for you to go ahead and allow yourself to understand more about the market at those specific times given. I personally recommend you to go ahead and focus on one session break, for example, from New York close to New York open, or from London close to London open, so on and so on. That way you guys can be a master in one thing and not just try to gamble all around. Okay, so that is session breaks for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely go ahead and take a screenshot of the session breaks, that way you understand at what time those sessions breaks are for you, and you can see which one is suited best for you. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next lesson.